Let the numbers do the talking. If you had $1 million in your IRA on January 1st, 2000, it would have fallen to approximately $899,000 at the end of the first year, then continued to fall to just over $781,000 at the end of 2001, and then plummeted to a measly $599,000 at the end of 2002. That same $1 million in a loss-protected IUL would have retained its worth at $1 million at the end of 2000, even though the market was down, remember? Still been worth $1 million at the end of 2001. And guess what? Still worth $1 million after 2002, even though the market got hammered. That's 3 consecutive down years and $401,000 in avoided losses. Which is more? Now, let's say you were with an IUL carrier in 2003 that had a 13% cap. Remember the big catch? It has a cap. Your $1 million would have grown to $1.13 million. It grew. Meanwhile, the qualified plan portfolio that tanked from $1 million down to just $599,000 would have gotten the full benefit of the 26.3% market gain, not the capped 13% like our IUL contract. Yay! But let me ask you this. Would you rather add 13% to $1 million or 26.38% to $599,000? 26% added to $599,000 only brings the account up to about $756,000. Again, which is more? This is a no-brainer. At the end of the 4-year cycle, you would have been ahead by over $350,000 with an IUL. This is real money in a worst-case scenario. The only way a qualified plan could possibly do better is if the S&P were to grow by over 15% per year for 5 or 10 consecutive years, with no negative years. Do you really think that's going to happen? And even in the 1 in a million chance that it did, get ready to pay the IRS when you retire. Throwing all these numbers around can really start to be a bit overwhelming, but it is critical for you to understand so you can avoid getting ruined financially when you retire. Don't hesitate to watch any part of the DVD again. We need to continue with the examples just a little bit further. We stopped our examples at the end of 2003. Remember, the IUL account that started with $1 million had weathered the storm and had grown to $1.13 million. The IRA account hadn't done so well. It had managed to eke back to $756,000, but only after a really strong 2003. Now, let's take a look at what happened in 2004, 5, 6, and 7. The S&P gained in this order: 8.99, 3, 13.62, and 3.53 in those 4 years. Your IUL account, since it's indexed to the S&P 500, and since 3 of the year's gains were between the 0% floor and the 13% cap, your IUL would have received all of those same gains, 8.99, 3, and 3.53%, and received 13% of the 13.62% from 2006. That would take your $1.13 million account right to just shy of $1.5 million by the end of 2007. Pretty good, right? Then, when the S&P got pummeled by a 38.49% loss in 2008, since the lowest return your IUL account can get is a floor of 0%, guess what? The IUL account would have held steady at $1.5 million. No loss. Nice, isn't it? On the other hand, the IRA account would have grown from $756,000 to around $998,000 during those 4 years. Still down since 2000, just in time to get crushed down to $614,000 at the end of 2008. What would you rather have going into 2009? $614,000 or $1.5 million? Make no mistake, this luxury jet plane isn't for the ultra-conservative. It's a luxury jet plane for the ultra-intelligent. If you think market caps of 12 to 15% are a poor trade-off for a contractual guarantee of a 0% floor, then you need to have your head examined. Naturally, past performance isn't an indicator of future results, but it's safe to say the market is going to have up years and down years. Protecting yourself from huge losses is one of the primary advantages of the IUL. It's impossible to overstate how superior the IUL is compared to your qualified plan. It's not even close. You've already had a crash course in IUL tax advantages. They're clear and evident. Avoiding market risk is huge, and it favors the IUL. By how much does it favor? By a country mile. Remember,